Hey guys, welcome back to the GIZGUIDE channel. This is Neil, and in this video we'll be unboxing the Cisco Meraki Z3. As you know guys, there has been increased demand for remote work, and we may be facing a future wherein we'll be doing hybrid work, wherein we'll be working remotely or on-site, and we may be working in the headquarters as well, depending on the need. So, companies with very sensitive information may need to have a better, more secure solution, along with being able to monitor and troubleshoot the remote workers' devices without having to go to where the remote worker is. This thing, the Cisco Meraki Z3, will be able to allow the company to establish a connection, monitor the activities of the worker, while also being able to troubleshoot just by plugging this into the remote worker's device. Basically, all a company needs to do is send the Meraki Z3 to their employees who are working remotely or at home, and they can configure this remotely at any time using the Meraki Cloud First platform. If a company has a worker that's working remotely at home or on-site, and they want to be able to monitor the activities along with troubleshoot the devices of the worker, they can just ship this to their remote worker and then plug it in, set it up remotely using the Meraki Cloud First platform. They can quickly basically make it a lot easier for both the worker and then the company to work in an optimized connection while being able to monitor and troubleshoot the different activities. So let's unbox this thing. As you can see here, first up is the Meraki Z3 box itself. It's small, it's lightweight, it has a Cisco logo over here on top. On the front, we have the LED indicator light. At the bottom, we have here some rubber feet and then some mounting options over here, so you can mount this on a surface. We also have the Meraki Z3 branding along with all the regulatory information on the bottom printed here. We have a MAC address and then the serial number of the device as well. So at the back, you'll see a lot of ports. You'll see a USB type A, a reset port, an Internet 1. So basically, if you have an internet modem, you can connect the network cable from the modem to this one to provide internet. And then we also have the second, third, fourth, and fifth port, which are also network ports. So you can basically connect other devices to this Meraki Z3. And then lastly, we have the power in port. This is for the DC in. So let's put this to one side and open the rest of the box. Okay, as you can see here in the box, we have a couple of screws and we have these rubber cups that you install so you can wall mount the Meraki Z3. We also have a single network cable over here. This is black, and then of course we have some documentation over here. So let's look at the documentation first. As you can see, it's printed quick instructions. We also have this. Basically, you can access this website to see more details about the Meraki 3. We have the power supply. As you can see here, this is the power in port that you plug here on the device over here. And then, of course, we have the power supply. Next up, we have, of course, the screws. So remember, when we looked at the bottom side of the Meraki Z3, we have some mounting holes over here. So basically, you can put the screws here and then mount it to the wall should you need to mount it on the wall. For now, we won't be doing that, but we'll be showing the rest of the items in the box. You can see here, this is a nearly all-in-one package. All right. So as you can see here, these are the wall mounting options. Basically, you drill a hole on your surface, and then you plug these in, and then to be able to screw the Meraki, you'll be needing to mount it over here on the Meraki here, over here, and then just screw it like that on the surface. Then you'll be able to screw it on the wall. But for our use today, we won't be needing to mount them on the wall. We'll just plug it in directly. As I said earlier, we have provided our own power cord, so we plug it here on the power supply. All you have to do is plug it in. All right, this is the power in out, so I just plug it in here. Once plugged in, you should get an LED light. So it light up. I don't know if the camera can see it, but it's orange here. Before it didn't light up. So now there's power in it. Now afterwards, you get the network cable that's provided. Actually, you'll need more than one of them. So what you do is you plug the network cable here, so you can plug it to number 2 and then plug it to your first device. Or you could also have another network cable and then plug it here. So basically, you're gonna plug it to your internet connection. So this would allow the Meraki to connect remotely to the infrastructure of the company. So with this, by plugging it into the internet and plugging it into the remote worker's device, and then the company can then use the Meraki Cloud platform to be able to set it up remotely, and then as soon as it's been set up, the remote workers can now work within a more secure and more optimized connection. And if there are any concerns, the people from the headquarters can just check the Meraki platform, and then they can see if there are any concerns. They can troubleshoot. Supposedly, you can also connect to the internet via a SIM card. Depending on the Meraki model that you have, you may be able to connect through a SIM card, but this one doesn't have it. So we don't have an included SIM ejector tool. If you have the other model, you get a SIM ejector tool and then a SIM tray where you can plug a new SIM there so you can connect remotely to the internet using a SIM card. Otherwise, you can establish connection by the earlier system with Wi-Fi or via LAN. That's how simple it is. Basically, all you have to do, a company has to do, is send this out to his remote worker and then set the hardware up like this, plug it into a power, set the LAN cable into the internet so you have a connection, and then plug in another network cable so that it can connect to the device of the remote worker. And from there, once it has been online, it can be detected remotely and then be set up by the IT department of the company using the Meraki dashboard.
So now on to the demo. So when it comes to our clients, it could be like the big logos here. You have the IHG hotels, you have big universities like MIT, but we also have yung mga one-off branches, maliliit na branches na walang IT. Kasi mahirap mag-configure ng on-premise eh. Kailangan mo command line, kailangan mo ng basic idea how to do Python. But Cisco Meraki, that's not something you would need anymore because life is very easy. All right, so when you log onto your dashboard, and again, you can do so via any browser that you are comfortable using. The first thing you'll see is this map. So makita nyo may mga round circle, may mga circles din, di ba? So the size of the circle corresponds to the number of network in a particular branch. So this is the Cisco Meraki one. Our head office is in San Francisco, kaya makikita nyo, dun yung pinakamaraming products. At doon yung pinakamalaking circle with the most number of devices. And as you can see, there are different colors when it comes to the circles as well. All green means all good. Red, it's probably something you need to take a look at. Yellow, red is a problem, so you need to take a look at it urgently. And yellow is probably something you need to take a look at. Most likely something wrong with the configuration, for example. So just with one glance, if you're an IT, if your client is an IT manager, for example, kita na nila how their network is doing. So if all of these are green, all the circles are green, desarado na nila yung platform. They don't need to configure, check, monitor anything else kasi everything's good. But if it's something like this, na may red, na may yellow, that's probably something they need to take a look at. So parang first glance pa lang on the dashboard, meron na silang screenshot of how their network is doing. And then if I expand the pane here on the right-hand side, makita natin, security is very important for Cisco Meraki. You could see the status if it's secure. So it gives you that data as well. And then the firmware status. So you could see some are up-to-date, some have upgrades available. So those that are up-to-date, probably naka-automatic update sila kapag may firmware na available. Or those with upgrade available, probably naka-schedule. So most likely, these are clients na sige, after work hours na lang tayo mag-update or maybe at 12 midnight para very minimal yung disruption to the network, right? So that's what it means. And then on the left-hand side, kita natin, sabi ko kanina, di ba, unlike other brands, all of our products are managed via one network, via one platform. So, andito yung network security natin, which is the firewalls, right? We have the switches here, we have the wireless here, we have the mobile device managers, and the camera is here as well. So I'll be going over this really quickly. Okay, again, if there are questions, feel free to just chat them in the message box. So the first thing I always ask when I do the demo with our clients is how do you troubleshoot kung kunyari tumawag si boss? Sabihin nila, hi, IT manager, hindi ako makakonect sa Wi-Fi. What do you usually do? And 4 out of 5, and this is not an exaggeration, 4 out of 5 would tell me, i-on-off namin yung access point. And I was like, bakit mo i-on-off yung access point? So parang nagta-trial and error lang sila. So that's not something you have to do with Cisco Meraki anymore. Because Cisco can tell you exactly what the problem is if a certain user cannot connect. But before we get into that, I went to this page, the client's page. Makita natin already a summary of how the network is doing. So all the uplinks are healthy. See, the icon is green. All their firewalls are healthy. Icon is green as well. The switches probably needs to be taken a look at because it's yellow. And wireless 181 are healthy. Here at the below it, also you can see the client's usage in terms of the last 2 hours or pwedeng up until the last 30 days. And of course, the platform they're using. So this gives you insight, ano ba yung kakakain ng bandwidth ko? Right? So if makita nyo naka-YouTube lahat yan, maybe the IT manager would be better off blocking YouTube. So this is a very useful insight. So going back to my question earlier, anong ginagawa ng clients natin if tumawag si boss and hindi makakonect to the internet? So most of them would turn the AP on and off, and hopefully that solves it. More often than not, it's not. So they move on to the switch, move on to the firewall, right? But with Cisco Meraki, all you have to do, so this is a list of all the devices within my network, lahat ng nakakonect. So sabihin natin naka-MacBook Pro si boss. So kunyari, si Nicolas, boss Nicolas, nakita siya sa network. I'm gonna click that. And then it's gonna bring me to a page that gives a lot of information about that particular device. So it's gonna be easier to troubleshoot. So here on the right-hand side, kita natin, si IT manager uploaded a office map. So kita natin si Nicolas is somewhere near the stairs, and this is the proximity, right? And here on the left-hand side, makita natin it's on the 5th floor kasi it's trying to connect to access point 5.36, yun yung name ng convention. And then we can see also sa topology later on kung okay ba yung buong network. But here at the bottom, yung immediate connections ni client or ni boss Nicolas, makita natin. So everything is green. It's connected without a problem to access point 5.36. This access point is connected without a problem to closet our access switch 5.3.1, and this switch is connected to core switch 1. So all are green. So usually if may problems in network, merong isa dyang red, right? And let's see later on yung buong topology. So here also at the bottom, we can see that it has a systems manager. Before that, you could see the usage also of boss Nicolas for the last 2 hours and 30 days. We can see that he uses a lot of web browsing, so nothing to be concerned about. And of course, since boss siya, we can change the policy specifically for him. So we can allow everything, walang nakalimit, walang nakablock. Right, so makikita din natin na this is probably a company-issued laptop dahil may systems manager siya. And ano ba yung mga naka-install na software doon. So going back to the topology earlier, we could see that everything is good naman, right? So let's take a look again ng buong topology. Nakikita natin, we'll try to look at access point 5.36. So I click the topology. So usually, if I ask a client for a network diagram, they're gonna give me something that they drew, right? So it doesn't matter if it's Photoshop. One client even gave me a blueprint, a whole blueprint of their network topology. So that's not something you'd have to do manually with Cisco Meraki. The cloud does that for you automatically. So this is something that a lot of the IT managers appreciate. So again, kanina, nakita natin that boss Nicolas is trying to connect to access point 5.36. So search natin siya. So pag sinearch natin yan, makikita natin siya yung nag-iisang pinaka-green na access point na dot. So there, pinaka-green, this is access point 5.36. So it's green, walang problem, unlike this one na may yellow. So there's probably an issue there. It's connected to this access point, it's green as well. Access switch, it's green as well. Core switch, green as well. Distribution switch, green as well. Up until, what is this? This switch again, everything's green. So basically, lahat ng pathway niya green. So walang problem with the network. Hindi mo na kailangan i-on-off yung access point mo, yung firewall mo, just to figure it out. So what I'm gonna do, Since walang problem sa network, punta ko sa wireless health ko. And this will give me information regarding sino ba yung, may mga hindi pa nakaka-connect, mayroon bang problems. So makita natin here, 1 out of 10 devices are having problems connecting to the internet. And 10% of that is failing to authenticate. So I'm gonna click on that. So see, this particular device with this MAC address is failing to authenticate because they probably forgot or mistyped the username, wrong password, they forgot it altogether. So you could just reset it on your end if you're the IT manager, di ba? So hindi mo na kailangan manghula, si IT, hindi na kailangan manghula kung bakit hindi makakonect si boss sa internet. May kita niya na dito na, ay, si boss, mali lang pala yung tinatype na password and username, right? So that makes life easier for a lot of our clients. On the access point side, what I'd like to show also is we can have as many as 15 SSIDs, and it already has basic firewall features as well. So you could do layer 3 firewall rules even just on the access point level, and you can block stuff already. So kunyari, I want to block gaming, all categories. That's all I have to do and click save. Or pwede namang particular website lang, near youtube.com. That's what I'm gonna block. Or pwedeng gaming, pero not all gaming. So kunyari, pogo.com lang. So those can be easily done on this dashboard already. And sa traffic shaping, pwede na tayong mag-limit ng bandwidth per cellphone, per laptop, di ba? Kunyari, 5 Mbps ka lang. We don't want anybody hugging the bandwidth. Or pwede din for SSID. Kunyari, may SSID tayo for the management. So, syempre sila baka naka-unlimited. Pero, for example, if staff SSID may be limited a little bit, right? And that's easily done with a couple of clicks. All right. Are there questions for the access point? No, I don't see anything. All right, we'll go to the switches. The switches is pretty straightforward. So I'll go to the monitoring page. So this page already shows you may issue ba with my particular switch. Kanina meron, I think, there. So we could see here that one particular switch is alerting, and we could see kanina that it's because of a power cord. So, for example, there's a problem with this particular switch 4.1. I'm gonna click it, and it's gonna see me connectivity historically and the usage, and of course the clients connected to that particular device. But what's more interesting, so let's take note, for example, that port 21 is online. Is these live tools. Like I said earlier, you don't need to be where the hardware is to configure. So for example, I want to ping youtube.com. All I have to do is click that. And kunyari, everything's fine. Pero for some reason, I'm encountering issues. Baka yung cable. So, magki-cable test ako. So, kunyari 21. Support 21. And this is helpful because usually, you need a separate device to do the cable test. So there, we could see that the YouTube average latency is 4 milliseconds, which is very, very fast. And you could see that according to the cable test, all the cables are okay. And it gives you approximate length. Again, this is not something other switches can do. What's good about this? Kasi kung hindi siya okay, you probably need to replace the cable. And instead of going to the closet, measuring the cable, going back, getting the correct length and going back, Meraki already gives you the approximate length. So you just have to get the correct length of the cable, go to the closet, hindi ka na pabalik-balik. So that's pretty helpful. All right, so that's the switch mostly. We also have port scheduling. So basically, if you have an 8 to 5 office, you can schedule your ports na mag-off siya kapag hindi office hours. So it saves electricity, it saves time, it saves the hassle of having to manually turn it off by the IT manager and on again in the morning. So automatic na siya here. Right. And I think this is going to be one of the key things if you do the demo with your clients, or if you want us to do it with your clients, that they'd appreciate. Okay. I'll be going over the security bit quickly. So for those with a lot of branches, okay, so the switch is done. Let's go to the firewall, but it's not moving. There. For those with a lot of branches, usually, ang servers nila nasa head office. So doon naka-host yung mga ERP nila, yung mga HR platforms nila, and nagko-connect lang si branch via VPN. So with most brands, other brands, you'd have to take a couple of hours to set up that VPN. With Meraki, what you'll do is when you get your access to your firewalls, this is what it looks like. And then all you have to do is click either hub or spoke, and then click which subnets you'd like to distribute. So for example, this one, this is our firewall one. We probably don't want to distribute this, but for the sake of doing the demo, I'll just have to click on and automatically and click save. Automatically, the Meraki Cloud will be distributing those subnets to the branches. So this is a process. I know this might be a bit technical for some of us. I'm not a tech person also, but basically this is a process that takes hours. Meraki can allow the clients to do it in a couple of clicks, right?
So with this, you have an all-in-one solution that all you have to do is set up first, the hardware-wise, and then the IT professionals from the company's headquarters can just set it up remotely. This will reduce the cost of having to send the IT person to the remote worker's home or where the remote worker is, saving money while being able to reducing the cost of other expenses. So I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. I enjoyed this quick unboxing and quick setting up of the Cisco Meraki Z3. For the Meraki dashboard, you will need to be able to access it using a login that connects to the system. But otherwise, that's up to your company. So if you have any more questions, you can ask us at the comments section below. We'll also leave links to the Meraki Z3 down below should you be interested. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you find it very informative. I hope that if you are using a Meraki Z3, you are able to set it up as quickly and as easily as we did. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys again in the next video. This has been Neil and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.